Mayfield's deep ball matches up with that Hawks secondary. Mayfield has 5 passing touchdowns on throws of at least 20 yards downfield this season. That does lead the NFL. The Hawks defense has not allowed a touchdown all season on those throws. And to boot, they have 2 picks. So how do you see this going for the Hawks defense against that banged up Bucs offense, Swagoo?
Yeah, listen, I think this is a big concern, and Bucky Irvin not being in this game gives me a lot of contention when it comes to that front from Seattle. They did a tremendous job against Arizona with getting Kyler Murray on the field, and Mike McDaniel has been really good about Mike McDonald, I'm sorry, has been really good about finding his opportunities to rush and also get Leonard Williams in situations where you can either isolate or have him be a part of the game, as you see here. This is late in the game against Kyler Murray. You see the double linebacker, double C gap pressure, and they take away what's in the secondary. It goes along with what you said, Hannah. They're not giving up big plays, and they're keeping everything in front of them, and that rush is really going to be a problem. I thought Bucky Irving would alleviate some of that for Baker Mayfield. Baker has done a good job with his legs getting out of pressure at times, and also Bucky Irving has kind of been the answer to that, especially late last week in that game. You saw them start to get him the ball in the passing game, and he was able to make moves after the catch. But I'm concerned about the Buccaneers this week, especially with this front from Seattle and him not having those easy outlets to churn yards out.
Yeah, so for Tampa Bay to play well, they got to win the math game. And Mark is talking about those pressures, and it's really from Seattle's simulated pressures. And the big thing for Tampa, and this is for everybody going against this defense, is like, yes, you want to make sure that in protection you have a guy for a guy. The big thing is you don't want to have 2 guys for a guy or 3 guys for a guy, because the problem with these simulated pressures, for everyone to understand, is they're really only rushing 4 guys. And so they still have 7 in coverage. And what happens is offenses waste people in protection. So you'll get a tight end and a tackle and a guard blocking 1 person. And a back and a tackle blocking 1 person. And the reality is, yes, you want to make sure that you're good in your protection, but you really need that tight end in your back to get out, because they're playing zone coverage in the back. They're trying to make sure that they don't give you the throws downfield. And they're also, with those simulated pressures, taking away the short throw, the check down. And so as a quarterback, you're sitting there. There's 7 guys in coverage. You only got 3 people to throw the ball to. And those backs and tight ends aren't blocking anybody. And so, yes, you want a guy for a guy. Don't waste people. So the math part is going to have to be huge for Tampa.
Yeah, listen, we talked on Monday, too, about Seattle, about how much we like this team on both sides of the ball. And, Mina, what Sam Darnold has been able to come in there and do. So what would you like to see from him against that Todd Bowles defense?
Like to see him come out throwing. Through the first month of this season, Seattle runs the ball at the 2nd highest rate in football on first down. You know what Clint Kubiak wants to do: get under center, outside zone, run game, play action off of that. Problem is, Tampa has a fantastic run defense. And if they get to 3rd down, they have the 5th best, pass defense in the NFL. On first down, they're 26th against the pass in EPA per play. And, as you saw earlier, they're coming into this game down several starting cornerbacks. I think it would be a mistake to go with a run-heavy approach on early downs in this game, and then you're suddenly in 3rd and long because you ran into a brick wall. Going to have to plan for some early down pressures. Bowles is going to throw those at you, but I think Seattle is definitely capable of beating Tampa through the air, but it's got to start on early downs. They cannot wait till 3rd down.
Yeah, let's take a look at our picks. And I think Bucky Irving, I know for me, kind of threw me over the top there. We are.
Totally.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Mina. We gonged the Seahawks. I know.
Look at Dan.
Dan, just look at Dan's final score, and I just want you to know you're going to see that over and over and over today, because Dan is too lazy to pick the
score of
points.
The game, I would be having a very different job. Okay, I can't guess the score.
Absolutely.
This is the only matchup this weekend, by the way, between teams with wins.
Barf bag, man.
As you ordered, sir, scattered, smothered, and covered.
Thank you.
Oh, they're running. We're not walking, y'all. We're running. We're gone.
Oh, it's a Friday favorite. Time now for the Marty Party. Marty Smith joins us now here on SportsCenter.
All right, Marty, we know you're in Gainesville, but where exactly are you?
Good afternoon, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Gainesville, Florida. You like that, Coach? Just a little pub for all of you out there in the United States of America. When you come to Gainesville, you got to come see Coach at Spurrier's. Look, the University of Florida has 3 Heisman Trophy winners all time. I'm with 2 of them, Danny Werfel and the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, and the other one, Tim Tebow, is probably lifting weights somewhere, I would imagine. So great to see both of you guys. Thank you for spending time with us as the Horns come to Gainesville on Saturday to see if they can get that road win here in the Swamp. All right, Danny, I want to start with you. 2 quarterbacks that were way up in the preseason Heisman expectation rankings with DJ Lagway of Florida and Arch Manning, of course, at Texas. What do you see from this QB matchup tomorrow?
Well, I think both of these guys had unreal expectations. Then you put in the NIL and the money, and it's like these are going to be the best players that have ever played. Well, they're young, and they haven't got a lot of reps. And, in DJ's case, he didn't even really get to practice with some things. So I think both of them are looking for that breakout moment. And this could be it. This is a huge matchup in the Swamp. I think both the teams might lean a little bit more on the run. If I were them advising them, that's what I would say to do, kind of give them some confidence. But one of these guys is probably going to emerge from this with a big play or two that really sets their team up for the win.
Coach, you talk about the hype train. Arch Manning had the hype train big time coming into this season, and it's been a learning process for him. What do you see from him right now?
Yeah, he probably did get way too much hype because he really hadn't played that much yet. So, he should be fine in time and so forth. But who would ever thought maybe the best quarterback in the country is a kid from Fair State that showed up at Ole Miss.
Trinidad Chambliss. He's playing out of his mind.
So you never know with the transfer portal and all this stuff now. A team can really get good real quickly. FSU was, 2-10 last year? They're a really good team this year. So it's a different day in college football.
What's hampering DJ Lagway right now, Danny?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that could go into that. I was very concerned when he didn't get to play in spring practice. And then he was hurt through the summer and then even in fall practice. And a lot of people were saying that's not a big deal. But the reason I could throw Chris Doering those corner routes right on time was because we did 3,000 of them, from March to September. So he doesn't get those reps. The timing's off, and it's not like he's Tom Brady in his 12th season either. He's a young kid. And so I think, those things make it really hard. And then you have enormous pressure and all sorts of stuff coming into play. And, it's a complicated offense. So I think there's a lot of processing that has to go on to play in this system. And you kind of put all those things together, and it just hasn't gone his way. But he's a remarkable competitor. He's a remarkable young man with a great foundation. And I still believe, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's next week or whenever it is, you're going to be hearing about this kid for a long time.
Gators are 1-3, Coach. What advice would you give Billy Napier?
Oh, hang in there. Hang in there is about what we're all saying right now. I think the local papers and the national media have sort of hit it that our Gator offense has been like a D. And our defense is like a B. So one's got to get a little bit better, and the other one stay there or get better also. But, we got to play better, coach better, and our schedule's been tough. We all know that. It was #1 toughest schedule in the country going in. If we'd had Texas's schedule, not to say anything bad, but we'd be 3-1 also. But we're 1-3 because we've played some really good teams. So I think we got a good chance tomorrow. I really do if we play up to our potential.
I do too. I agree with that. And thank you guys so much. Grateful for both of you. It's so cool to be with you today. And guys, Coach was talking about that schedule. It doesn't get any easier for the Gators as the season goes along.
Yeah, you're right about that. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate it. Hey, we've got ourselves a must ACC matchup between Miami, Florida State. Goes down tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Miami's looking to keep that perfect record alive. Meanwhile, Florida State had been nearly perfect themselves. They manhandled Alabama, dominated their next 2 opponents before last Friday's overtime loss to Virginia. And after Saturday, neither the Seminoles nor the Canes have a ranked opponent left on their schedule. And joining us from Tallahassee is our ACC Network analyst, Jimbo Fisher. And Coach, your former team, Florida State, perfect opportunity to bounce back as this is probably their last chance at another high visibility win. How do you think the Seminoles can hand the Canes their first loss?
Well, I think right now, this game comes at a good time because you got to push the other one back, and there's nothing like getting your attention like a rivalry. It makes you jump right up at them and get ready to play. And they're going to have to control the defensive line, and their defensive line is going to have to stop the run. Miami's going to run that football, and they're going to bring it downhill. And then what you're going to have to do is keep from avoiding the big pass plays on top of that. And then on offense, get off to a fast start. Because I think Miami wants to control the tempo of the game with their running game, play action passes, and their defense is very good. But if Florida State can hit some big plays early and play that game even to ahead and make Miami uncomfortable and have to take some chances, it's going to give them a lot better chance to get some turnovers. And it's always going to take a turnover or two. And you know this, you can't have great victories without a little adversity. And they had some adversity last week, and they can't let that one loss become two. Put it behind you, forget about it, and get ready for these Canes.
We'll see what happens. I think we got 7 total conference games on our network. So, Coach, we wanted to reel out a new segment for you. We call it Fly Fishing. So give me 2 matchups flying under the radar that you're hooked on to watch.
I think Louisville and Virginia. I think Virginia coming off that big upset win over Florida State. They got a quarterback, Chandler Morris, who's dynamic. And I say he's like Brett Favre. He's a gunslinger. He takes chances. He throws the ball around. But he forgets he got the short memory, comes right back and makes plays. And then Louisville, who is undefeated. They really survived and dodged a bullet last week at Pitt. They're still undefeated. This team, because remember, Virginia's loss to NC State is not a conference loss. So both teams are undefeated. Whoever wins this game is going to have to come out and have a huge advantage going into the season, going into trying to get to Charlotte. And Miller Moss is going to have to play well. The backs at Louisville are going to have to play well. But which defense can get a couple stops because both offenses are dynamic? And the other one?
Yeah, what's the other matchup?
To me, there's 2 quarterbacks in this league that no one talks enough about. Darian Mensah and JKS at California. The Duke Cal game to me has really got my interest. I really believe these 2 guys are as 2 high-profile quarterbacks in this league or in this country. These guys can be first-round draft picks at quarterback. JKS is a true freshman, is absolutely amazing to me with his accuracy, his ball placement, and his knack to create space in the pocket and his feel for the game. And in Mensah, the last 3 quarters against NC State in his last game, he's playing so well right now. It's off the charts. And I think both these guys in the future can be first-round picks. They're leading their team. This is going to be a very, very interesting game.
I'll certainly be locked in on that one as well. Look, you can catch more of Jimbo, the rest of the ACC Huddle crew, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on the ACC Network. Thank you, Coach.
Coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern on SportsCenter, the life of a backup quarterback. Yeah, why Mac Jones is changing the narrative of QB2 and who is next to help carry their team this Sunday. And we'll wrap up